What is up, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of My 5D Journey. This is Lucas. I'm checking in with some spiritual growth news. So I'm going to out myself here, and if you judge me for it, that's fine. When I was 18, I first got my experience of getting high with pot. Had no idea that that's what was happening. At the time, I thought I was hookah. Because it was a bong, never seen a bong before. No one ever talked about pot growing up. Like, my parents never talked about drugs, ever, as if they didn't exist. So he says, like, drugs are bad, don't do them. And all I thought, in my mind, drugs were like needles. Like, you put needles in, you inject yourself with something, and here you are. I get high, I'm 18, I become a stoner. I stayed high basically through all of my late teens and early 20s, every day. It's true. And then around 21, 22, I had developed a really close group of friends that we were all stoners together. And one of my friend Sam, had gone out with some friends one weekend to a club called Afterlife. Came back and was like, oh my God, I had this amazing time. Like, we had so much fun. We ended up taking MDMA. And I was like, what's MDMA? And he was like, it's ecstasy. And I was like, what's ecstasy? Because again, I know nothing. And I did not have the privilege of being instructed on things. Well, I'd become very close to this friendship circle. And I tried ecstasy, ended up rolling basically every weekend for several years, and doing mushrooms, and we had done acid a few times. And then somewhere about 22, 23 years old, I started developing really bad anxiety. And I'd already lived a life of anxiety, but it became really, really intense. And so I go to the doctor. I'm having a hard time focusing at work. And he's like, okay, well, take Adderall. I get on Adderall. I start not sleeping very well, take some Xanax. I start having muscle spasms and pains, take some Flexeril. I start having this throbbing pain, take some Tramadol. Before I know it, I'm on Adderall, Klonopin, Xanax, Tramadol, Flexeril. Okay, I'm taking all these different medications. I'm basically doped through life. Like, I was doped up all the time. And what's really funny is that most people never knew. It really kind of surprised me how few people knew that I was having a huge drug problem. I mean, I was having a huge, massive drug addiction problem. Not only illegal drugs, but legal ones too that were prescribed to me. So at this point, I'm on, 10 different things a week to make it through. And my cat goes to get surgery yesterday, and I tell the doctor, listen, he's a really rambunctious cat. I really think you need to give him pain medicine afterwards. She said, no, don't worry. We're going to give him an injection. It's going to last 24 hours. He's going to be fine. Okay, fine. We pick him up. Nothing's wrong. He gets up a few times in the car in the kennel and is trying to move around, but he's doped up. And his scrotum, he gets fixed. His scrotum is now bleeding a little bit. When I look in the paperwork, it says normal bleeding is fine. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. You just dab it up. Don't wipe it up. Dab it up. I leave him in his kennel as suggested by the veterinarian. This is all going to connect in a minute. Okay, it's going to connect. Recommended by the veterinarian. He's going batshit crazy. I mean, he is slamming himself against the wall. He's chewing on the kennel like it's not good. An hour later, I go in there to check on him just to make sure he's okay. And one of his balls is sticking out of his scrotum. I'm like, oh my God, what the hell? So I remembered that I had been given about 10 doses of morphine for Athena when she had gotten her C-section about a month or so ago. I guess actually a month and a half, 2 months ago. It's been a while. I go downstairs to get the morphine. I have morphine in syringes. I have spare needles for giving shots to cats because during COVID, guess what? I couldn't get any of my vaccinations done for the kittens that I breed. So I'm like, I need syringes to give them their own vaccines that I can give. I can't give rabies, but I can give FVRCP. So I'm holding the morphine. I'm walking upstairs, and all of a sudden I realized, I was like, I've only had morphine like twice at a hospital given to me through an IV. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. Come here. And all of a sudden I realized I've had that much morphine in my fridge for 6 weeks with needles, and it never even once occurred to me to take it. And all of a sudden I realized I'm not the same person anymore. I'm a completely different individual who's capable of saying no. Another example, because this video is almost over, I think, is we were at the spa and a woman is smoking Camel Crushes, which was my preferred cigarette along with American Spirits for years when I was smoking. It was American Spirits and Camel Crushes. And she's smoking, and I could smell the smoke, and it was so recognizable. And all of a sudden I realized I didn't want it. And she even offered it to us. She's like, "Oh, do you guys want a cigarette?" And I was like, "No, I'm good." Like, my fiance actually took one because, he's young. He's still experimenting with taking stuff. But I was just blown away. And then again this morning, that I have things and I'm just not taking them. I don't even feel tempted by it. And that, to me, really signified a lot of emotional growth, a lot of mental growth, a lot of spiritual growth, that I've grown. And all of a sudden I found myself just really filling up with energies of pride and accomplishment, knowing that I had made it through those years where I became a bit of a mess, and I was a different person, and I was better than I was before. And that's my message today, guys. So you have a great day. See you later.